When both beaters on one team are in possession of a bludger and neither beater on the other team have a bludger, then somewhere on the pitch is the third bludger. It's specifically referred to as the third bludger when no one has possession of it. The beaters on the team with control cannot interfere with the beaters on the other team acquiring the third bludger. To do so is third bludger interference and is a 2 bludger turnover. The bludger on the ground stops being the third bludger if one of the beaters throws their own bludger to make what's called a legitimate beat attempt. This is a judgment call on the part of the referees, but essentially, if the beat is involved with the play and actually beats an opponent or is near an opponent, the beat should be considered legitimate. If it is not a legitimate beat attempt and is simply rolling the bludger or throwing it towards the other hoops towards no one or throwing it out of bounds, then it's still that bludger on the ground remains third bludger, and if one of the beaters that just threw the bludger, their own bludger, then picks up the third bludger, that also constitutes third bludger interference. Other ways to commit third bludger interference include physically standing in the way of the beater that's going towards the third bludger. One of the players on the team without a bludger can put their fist up to claim immunity. Players often hold it up very high, but you only have to have it up to your shoulder in order for it to be claiming immunity. If both beaters put their fists up at the same time, one of them needs to put their fist down right away. If they both keep their fists up, especially if it affects play, then that is a blue card for invalid immunity claim. There are 4 wrinkles to the claiming immunity that I should briefly discuss. First one is that bludgers that are already in the air before the fist reaches shoulder height will still knock out the beater. Meaning, if someone is throwing a bludger at you and they throw it and the ball's in the air and then you put your fist up, it is not a valid immunity claim against that specific bludger because you did not claim immunity before the bludger was thrown. Second, the protection extends until the beater that has possession of the bludger is able to actually play with it. So while your fist is in the air, you're immune. Even if your fist comes down for some reason, you're still immune. And as you reach down to pick up the bludger, you're still immune until you're able to play. Meaning that once you're able to stand up and look around and deflect incoming bludgers towards you. 3. The beater who claims immunity cannot do anything else except gain possession of the bludger. They must go to the bludger and claim possession of it. Now you can possess the ball by picking it up. You can also possess the ball by kicking it. But you cannot simply stand there over it with your fist up, waiting for anything, and you absolutely cannot deviate from your path towards the third bludger and get involved in other play like making tackles and so forth. That is illegal. That is going to be at a minimum a blue card. 4th, the immunity can only be claimed on a dead bludger. So beaters will sometimes throw a bludger and then they'll put their fist up before the bludger has actually reached the ground, often after it's made impact before it's reached the ground. If this is very close, they can be called back hoops or they can be warned, but it's important for referees to referee it consistently. It technically should be a blue card and bludger turnover, although I guess it can't be a bludger turnover if both beaters and the other team already have a bludger.